So when I met Marion, I confess I didn't know her work, but she threw a piece of bread in my face over dinner because I didn't like some actor or something that she liked. And I thought she had an amazing face, like a kind of like, and I've said it before, but like Falconetti or like Lillian Gish or something, or Louise Brooks, like a kind of a great silent movie face that you don't have to say anything and it reveals so much emotion. And when you talk to actors, sometimes you don't even have to watch them act. If the minute that you talk to them and get a sense of that intelligence, you know that they can be wonderful.
Vous voulez, en français, d'accord.
Français. I have 20 pages in Polish. This is insane. And I remember one day, James came and he told me, you have a lot of Polish in this movie, right? And I was like, yeah, I have 20 pages. You wrote them yourself. And he was like, oh yeah, I was wondering why you would spend your days in your notebook, because I had to work almost every night and day to get it right. So that was definitely my biggest challenge.
I would write like a third of a page of dialogue, and you know this is true. In English, I would say, to be spoken in Polish, subtitled. And then the Polish would come back and it would be like 4 pages. Like it did not correspond at all to the length of what I actually wrote. It was so bizarre.
So bizarre.
I was like, I don't understand. It's like she walks in and says, "Oh my God, my auntie," and then it's like, I'm like, what? Are you saying that? Are you sure you're saying that? Yes, that is exactly what she's saying. That's what you wrote. I'm like,
But
Duke Sant, who is, by the way, a totally brilliant writer, and his book Low Life, if you've read it or know anything about it, is really one of the great sort of nonfiction books ever written about New York. I spoke to him. I said, "Can I use your title?" He said, "No." And then I realized you can't copyright a title, so for a while it was called Low Life, but then I didn't want to really get him enraged at me, and then there was apparently another movie called Low Life, and the French distributors are saying we don't like the translation of Low Life, and the Americans are saying we don't like it, blah, blah, blah. So I said, you know what, fine, I'll change it. And I started calling it The Nightingale because there's this improvisation in the film where she says, Nightingale always sings sweetest before the... And everybody hated that title, you know, except for me. Everyone's
except
like,
for me.
"Oh, you liked it too?"
Yeah.
Well, then fuck it, it's The Nightingale.
And as far as James Gray, I've seen all of his movies, and some I like better than the others. And but I love James. How did this happen? How did we come together? How did that? Were we on my porch and you were telling me all these same stories that you're telling everybody right now?
No, I don't know. There are some of your performances I don't really like that much.
I know
I
that's
never told
good.
you
I
that.
don't expect you to like any of them.
No, there's some I like better.
I don't remember how did this happen? Was that Greg? Was it Greg's idea?
It was Greg Shapiro.
It was Greg's idea, wasn't it?
Well, no, I had wanted you to do it, but Greg Shapiro put us together. And he said, yeah, I think you should meet Jeremy.
Yeah.
That'd be really nice. That'd be really nice. Is that accurate?
Yeah, that's pretty much the story.
The story on real stuff. So, I mean, I guess I could have had someone from Mozambique being exploited, but the truth is that the wave of immigration, 1921, would have been Eastern Europe. The door closed for them in 1924. My family is from Eastern Europe. The women who were exploited were mostly from Eastern Europe. I guess it's just because I was trying to adhere to the history. I never thought that it was like, oh, another Eastern European movie where a person gets exploited, and if it is, I feel terrible about it. But that was the goal of the film, was to do something honest and historically accurate. And I kind of have to let the chips fall where they may at that point.